Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another video. In this video, we'll learn how to create custom hatch patterns in AutoCAD using two different methods. The first method utilizes the Express tool called Super Hatch, and the second one involves creating a custom pattern file, often referred to as a hatch code. So let's start with Super Hatch tool. In the ribbon, where you will find the super hatch command right here. Now let's get started. Before using super hatch command, we need a block because the super hatch tool requires a block to function properly. Okay, and take a polyline from here to here, and then we're going to offset it to either side and make a box for our hatch of glass effect. Okay. So this is the effect we're going to apply for a glass effect. I'm going to make a block with it. So the base point, we should choose the base point from here and give it a name. Okay. So allow exploding and scale uniformly. Both should be checked. Okay. So we're going to create a large rectangle to apply the hatch to, like this one. And go to Express tool. From there, Super Hatch. Click on it. And from the pattern type list, we should choose the block here. Okay. So our block name, glass effect, is already selected. And the specify parameters on the screen should be as it is. Then we're going to click on OK. Then click anywhere on this rectangle. It is asking for scale factor. So we'll keep the default one. Then it's asking for rotation angle. We're going to keep the 0 here. Then it's asking for a placement of this block acceptable. Yes, it is acceptable. And it's asking for the block extent. Look at the pink rectangle here. It's actually indicating the extent. We can increase it. So increase the size of the extent of the block or make it a little bit larger. Okay. Then we're going to press space, and right now we're going to select the rectangle, inside the rectangle, and then press space. So here our block is applied. So it's actually not the regular hatch, it's actually working here as a block. Okay. It's applied like a hatch, but it is a block, and it's not a regular hatch pattern. And this one cannot be used on a different drawing. So it's limited to this drawing. And it lacks the flexibility of regular hatch patterns like scaling or editing. So if you want to create a custom hatch, a true hatch, which can be used like a regular hatch, so we're going to create custom hatch pattern with code. To create a fully customizable and portable hatch pattern, we'll write a hatch pattern file, that is .pat file. This file allows us to adjust properties like scale, angle, and repetition easily. So we're going to write a hatch pattern file. So we have a notepad file here. Let's keep that in front. So first of all, we're going to give it a name. The pattern name should be started with a asterisk, then the name, And after comma, we should give a brief description here. So at the next line, first we'll have to set the angle of the line. We're going to set 45 degree. Then we're going to define the starting point. For example, in this case, I'm going to define two vertical and horizontal point, then another comma followed by space. Then we're going to define the offset for repetition for both x and y. In this case, I'm going to define 8 and 8, followed by another comma and space. Then we'll have to define length and gap. So length would be 4 and gap would be minus 4. We'll have another explanation for these numbers later on when we apply the hatch. So let's move on to the next line. Again, 45. In this case, starting point would be 3, 2. So when we are done defining the lines, we'll have to press enter for an extra empty line that is required for the hatch pattern to work properly in AutoCAD. So I'm going to save the file, selecting all files, save as type, and then .eat extension. Okay, press save. In the drawing, if I delete the existing hatch from here and go to the options, on the files tab here, we'll have to add a folder which should be the desktop. So as I have kept my file in the desktop, so I'm going to insert that location. Then we're going to click on OK. Then click on Hatch. From the pattern list, we can find our glass effect at the very end. Select on the effect and select on here. So the hatch pattern has been applied successfully. If we click on the hatch, we can edit the origin from this point. So from this tab, we can increase or decrease the scale. We can actually increase and decrease the scale from here. So now we can have an explanation on these codes from the drawing here. First of all, I'm going to explode the hatch. And then from this code 45 degree, if we select on this line, I can see that angle is 45 degree. Okay. All of the three lines are at 45 degree angle, and they are defined at the very beginning of every line. Next one is 2 and 2, which means the starting point for drawing the line. Okay. So if I annotate this from here to this, so this is showing 2.6 because I have changed the scale of pattern. Okay. So I'm going to undo that and all the way to explode. When there's steel hatch, I'm going to put on 1 scale here. So this is now at proper scale, but I'm going to explode it again. So this starting point is the starting point of this line. Okay. So if we measure this, so we can see that in both direction, x and y, the starting point is 2, 2, which is this one. So that is defined in this portion. So this part portion is, or the offset of repetition. Example, we have set the value where 8 and 8. So this is our 8 eighths and 8y line. And if I rotate this to 45 degrees, since we have 45-degree angle here, in the origin, so this is the origin of the second repetition. The second instance of the block is black here, which is 8 horizontal and 8 vertical, and also 45 degree rotated. So this is our second origin of the line. If we measure this, we have plate here and also here. Okay. We have the length of line and gap for the next line. So this is the length 4. So this length is the length of this line 4. And then we have a 4 gap from this point to this point, and that is this one. 4. This 4 is for the length of the line, and this -4 is for the gap between the end of this line and the start of the next line. So this gap here, so that is the breakdown of the codes. We can have elliptical lines here if we want. Using the super hatch tool is quick and straightforward method for creating custom hatches within a single drawing, while the E85 offers greater feasibility and portability. So if you have any questions or need further clarification, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.